here's some optimistic news. Our CBS News poll finds that Americans are feeling more hopeful than discouraged as they look ahead to the new year. That's up 10 points from how they felt a year ago.
Who took your poll? Like billionaires? I don't know a single American who is feeling more optimistic than they did a year ago. But then again, I don't know any CEOs. I'm absolutely gobsmacked by this. And I saw this in my FYP right after I saw...
This man is not a hero.
No.
I don't care how handsome people think he is, a stone cold killer.
What about the presumption of innocence? Don't you mean alleged? Don't you mean he's accused of a crime? The glaring, frantic, clumsy attempts by legacy media to gaslight the American people. Every clip I see from y'all is like watching the death rattle of journalistic integrity. I made a couple of videos on my main account about the UHC CEO shooting case, and we'll see if they get taken down or not, since everything I say about that subject seems to get removed for violent extremism, whether it is this account or my main. But so far, they're still up. So I was actually thinking more about not necessarily the court of public opinion, but more in terms of our distrust as American people when it comes to corporate legacy media. I would argue it started before this, but for at least the last 4 years, we have seen a steady decline in public trust in legacy media, mainstream media, or the free press. Like, how free is the free press? And I have made several videos on this account about how we are really losing trust as the American people come to realize that when you have a press that is run on profit, when they are reliant on ratings and ad revenue, and their ultimate goal is solvency and also profit sharing and payouts, dividends for their shareholders, you are not really having a free press, right? You are having a press that is purchased by capitalism. And we've seen this consistently over the last 4 years as networks like CNN and others have shifted right because they believed it would make their ratings tick up as they moved farther right. We've seen them sane wash fascism repeatedly as they attempted to pander to right-wing voters, trying to bring in that demographic and boost their ratings. We have only seen it get worse since the election, right? We've seen folks having public outcries against the LA Times, against the New York Times, both for their decisions to do things like not endorse or withdraw endorsement for candidates, but also for publishing just like absolute crap editorial pieces. Blatantly transparent to the point that they are insulting to the American public. And unfortunately, it's not just corporate media. We've also seen PBS and NPR run pieces that are an insult to the American public, that are a blatant attempt to present a narrative that they want us to take up and believe. As much as I respect Joy Reid and Lawrence O'Donnell, we have watched MSNBC lose its last shred of credibility with Joe and Mika going to kiss the ring and still being platformed on MSNBC. And now we are watching the blatant, overt cozying up of CEOs, of billionaires, of corporate interest with what is supposed to be a free and fair press, right? We are watching it turn into a propaganda machine. I mean, it's been a propaganda machine, but we are watching it be overtly attempting to gaslight the American people, to get us to distrust what we know, and to twist our perception rather than report on the facts. I really feel like what is happening right now with the Luigi case and the way that the press, from PBS to the New York Times to CNN, all over the board, is choosing to present the corporate CEO's narrative rather than investigative journalism. I think that is the death knell for the free press in America, and that is frightening. Because when we lose a free and fair press, we risk losing the last vestiges of our democracy. Now, I hope that there is more and more independent journalism that will not compromise their journalistic integrity, right? I talked about Harry Litman recently, and there are other journalists who are not willing to bend the knee, who are not willing to compromise their ethics in order to earn more money. They are not willing to say the thing that the CEOs, that the fascists want them to say in order to get more ratings. So I realize I'm losing the light here, but I guess what I'm wondering is this the death knell for corporate media in America? As they so blatantly, pathetically, overtly attempt to force feed us a narrative we know is complete BS. We know that they are pushing propaganda from the CEOs, from the DOJ, from the NYPD, from corporate interest, rather than doing honest journalism. Is that the last straw, right? Is that the fire that they are going to use to burn themselves down because they have jumped the shark? The American people can see what's what, right? And I wonder if that is the fire they are using to burn themselves down, however unintentionally, what kind of journalism is going to rise up out of the ashes?